She was just a waitress in a rainy alley. He was the billionaire who vanished before sunrise. One night changed their lives, but a secret pregnancy tied them forever. Now, trapped in a loveless marriage of convenience and hunted by a vengeful ex-fiancée, Lili must fight for her child's future. Can a heart made of ice ever learn to love? Or is their new beginning just another cold arrangement? Discover the light that rises over the darkest waters. Light upon dark waters. In the most remote corner of the city, in a narrow alley where even the neon lights grew timid, there was a small restaurant. Yellowed menus hung behind the glass. The storefront still bore the streaks of the last rain. Inside, it was warm, but it was a damp heat born of cooking smells and exhausted bodies. The ceiling fan creaked as it turned, swallowing the footsteps of Lili, who moved between the tables. She was 24, but her eyes carried the weight of someone who had seen much more of life. Her hair was messy, her hands bore the marks of carrying plates, and a forced smile lingered on her lips. Customers would come, eat, and leave. No one really looked at her. Not really. And she didn't want to be seen anyway. When the evening shift ended, it was past 11. The money was counted, the kitchen lights were dimmed, and Lili took off her apron and hung it in the locker. Outside, the air was cold. With hands in her pockets and her neck tucked in, she walked silently. She was going home, to that cramped, airless house where her mother lived. But that night, something was different. There was a weight in her chest, a strange nausea in her stomach. She'd been feeling it for 2 weeks. First, she couldn't stand the smell of food. Then her head spun as she woke up in the mornings. Then she finally knew. The next morning, she collapsed by the sink, staring at the 2 lines on the cheap pregnancy test she'd bought from a corner pharmacy. The plastic stick trembled in her hand. Her eyes filled with tears, but she didn't cry. Crying felt like a luxury right now. She just sat there, leaning her head against her knees, trying to breathe. She remembered that night, 6 weeks ago. The man she met at a magnificent hotel bar on the other side of the city. Dark-eyed, cold, yet elegant. Their conversation was short, but their glances were long. She didn't even remember his name at first. Adrian Shaw, she found out later. A billionaire businessman, the kind you see in newspapers. That night, she was just a woman, and Adrian was just a man. When she woke up, he was gone. He left behind the scent of perfume, white sheets, and an empty feeling inside her. Now, she had a plastic stick with 2 lines, and everything had changed. When she got home, her mother was in the kitchen. Her back was turned, chopping vegetables at the counter. Lili slipped into her room silently. She didn't say a word to her mother. She couldn't. Her mother was a woman who touched every corner of Lili's life, interfered in every decision, and kept every move under control. Her love was stifling. Her protection was a chain. Lili had lost her father when she was little. Her mother had held on to her tightly since then, as if she would perish if let go. Days passed. Lili continued working at the restaurant. The nausea increased. Exhaustion seeped into her bones, but she hid it. Every morning, looking at herself in the mirror, she saw someone a little paler, a little more lost. Her mind was always on Adrian. Should she reach out to him? What would she say? "Hi, remember me? That night. Well, I'm pregnant." What a ridiculous, desperate sentence. But she didn't want to think about the baby. She didn't want to think about the child, because once it became a reality, all of Lili's plans, all her hopes would collapse. Still, one night, with trembling hands, she typed Adrian's name into her phone. She saw his photo in the news, in a suit with a cold expression, standing next to a long-legged woman. The headline, Adrian Shaw and ex-fiancée Vanessa spotted together. Lili closed the screen.
the tiny spark of hope died out. But months couldn't go on like this. Her body began to change. Her apron felt tighter. Her mother started asking questions. Why are you so tired? Why aren't you eating? Why do your eyes look like that? Lili evaded her every time, but a moment would come when there was nowhere left to run. And it came. One evening, her mother's eyes locked onto Lili's belly. A heavy silence fell between them. Then her mother spoke, her voice cracking. "Are you pregnant?" Lili didn't answer, but her tears did. Her mother collapsed in anger. She screamed, she cried, she showered her with questions. Who? When? How could this happen? Then she screamed again, more cruelly this time. "You will get rid of this child." Lili lifted her head. For the first time, her voice was firm. No. In that moment, she realized Lili wanted this child. Maybe not because of Adrian, maybe it wasn't planned, but this child was hers, and she would protect it. Days passed, the tension grew, her mother's pressure intensified. Finally, one morning when she could take no more, Lili decided to call Adrian. She tried a few numbers and finally reached his assistant. She tried to introduce herself. The woman was cold, but she got an appointment.
3 days later, Lili found herself in a building with marble floors, surrounded by skyscrapers. Her heart was pounding wildly. The elevator dinged, the door opened. The interior was black, white, and cold. Adrian was sitting behind the desk. His eyes were exactly as they were that night, distant, somewhere deep. Lili sat down. Her hands were shaking. She spoke. She told him everything. Adrian listened, his face devoid of any expression. When she finished, there was a long silence. Then Adrian opened his mouth. "Are you sure?" Lili nodded. Adrian closed his eyes. Then he stood up and walked to the window. He looked at the city. He didn't speak for minutes. Then he turned, looked at Lili, and said in a cold voice, "Let's get married." Lili couldn't believe it. "What?" "Let's get married. Let the child have a name. Let's have a family." But there was no love behind those words, only responsibility, only an arrangement. Lili knew, but did she have any other choice? 2 weeks later, the wedding took place. A small ceremony, a few witnesses. Lili didn't wear a white dress. Adrian was in a suit, but his eyes were elsewhere. The registrar spoke. Signatures were signed. Now Lili was Lili Shaw, but being married didn't mean being together. Adrian's house was a giant mansion, cold corridors, high ceilings, empty rooms. Lili got lost in it. Servants moved about silently. Adrian left early in the morning and returned late at night. Sometimes he didn't come at all. Lili sat alone at meals, at the head of the large table, hands over her belly, in silence. One evening, the door opened. Lili was at the top of the stairs. She looked down. Adrian had arrived, but he wasn't alone. There was a woman with him, tall, elegant, red lipstick. Vanessa. Lili recognized her. Adrian's ex-girlfriend. No, more than that, his ex-fiancée. Vanessa looked at Lili. There was contempt in her eyes. She smiled, but her smile was a knife. "So this is the new wife," she said. Adrian said nothing. Lili froze. Then she turned and retreated to her room. But before the door closed, she heard it. Vanessa's laughter and Adrian's silence. That night, she lay in bed and cried. She thought about the baby she was bringing into this world. What kind of life would it be? A loveless home, a soulless father. But still, that child deserved love. Lili's love. Days and weeks passed. Adrian was distant. Vanessa came by every now and then. Lili was slowly becoming invisible in her own home. But something changed. Lili started going out into the garden in the mornings. She started reading books. She started painting. She began talking to the servants, especially the old cook, who had grown fond of Lili. "You have a good heart," she had said one day. Lili smiled, for the first time in years, truly. One evening, Adrian came home. It was very early. Lili was surprised. Adrian went straight to the living room. Lili followed him. Adrian sat down, rubbing his forehead. He looked exhausted. Lili asked softly, "Did something happen?" Adrian looked up. He stared for a long time. Then he spoke. "I broke up with Vanessa." Lili's heart stopped. "When?" "Today." Silence. "Why?" Lili asked. Adrian looked away. Because I'm married to you. This wasn't right." Lili felt a spark of hope for a moment, but there was still no love on Adrian's face, only a weight on his shoulders. Over time, Lili stopped waiting. She stopped expecting love from Adrian, because she now had her own love, the love she would give to her child. It was the final months of pregnancy. Lili's belly had grown. Adrian sometimes came to the hospital checkups, but mostly he didn't. But Lili didn't care anymore, because when she saw her baby's face on the ultrasound screen, her heart filled up. That tiny heartbeat was Lili's reason for living. One night, the labor pains began. Lili was alone. Adrian was out of town. The cook called the ambulance. As Lili writhed in pain, she held her belly. "We'll make it. You and I will make it." When they arrived at the hospital, doctors were rushing. Lili was taken to the operating room. The lights were blinding. Then everything became a blur. When she woke up, she heard a cry. Her baby's voice. Her eyes opened. The nurse was coming toward her, a tiny baby in her arms. "Your daughter," the nurse said, smiling. Lili reached out. She took the baby in her arms. Tiny, warm, perfect. The baby opened her eyes. Dark eyes, just like her father's. Lili couldn't hold back her tears. "Hello," she whispered. "I'm your mother." In that moment, everything changed. The pain, the disappointments, the loneliness, it all melted away, because this baby was real, and Lili would protect her forever. The door opened. Adrian walked in. He stopped. He looked at Lili, then at the baby. There was a strange expression on his face. Was it surprise, fear, or something else? He slowly approached. Lili held the baby out to him. Adrian took her hesitantly. The tiny girl fit in his hands. Adrian looked at her, a long, deep gaze. Then his eyes filled with tears. Lili couldn't believe it. Adrian was crying. "I'm sorry," Adrian said, his voice thick. "For everything. I was unfair to you." Lili was silent. Then she spoke, her voice clear. "You don't need to apologize. Just be here. For her." Adrian nodded. "I'm here, and I'm staying." But Lili knew words weren't enough. It would take time to see. When they returned home, everything slowly began to change. Adrian started coming home early to look after the baby. He woke up at night to soothe her. Lili watched this in silence. Maybe it wasn't love yet, but a bond had formed, and that was enough for a start. But the quiet days didn't last long. One afternoon, the doorbell rang. When Lili opened it, Vanessa was standing there. Her eyes were red, her makeup smudged. "I need to see Adrian," she said. Lili stepped back. Vanessa walked in, straight to the living room. Adrian was coming down the stairs. He froze when she saw Vanessa. "What are you doing here?" Adrian asked. Vanessa turned, her eyes tearing up. "Come back to me, please. I made a mistake. I love you." Adrian swallowed. Lili held her breath. "No," Adrian said. His voice was firm. "That's in the past, Vanessa, and here I have a real life. I have a family." Vanessa stumbled back. Then she looked at Lili, full of hatred. "He never loved you. He only married you out of a sense of responsibility." Lili's chest tightened, but this time she spoke. "Maybe, but he's here now, and you aren't."
Vanessa's face contorted. Then she turned, walked to the door, and left. The door slammed shut. Lili and Adrian were left facing each other. There was a long silence. Then Adrian spoke. "You were right. In the beginning, I only felt responsibility. But now—" Lili waited. "Now it's more. You and our daughter. You changed me." Lili's eyes filled with tears, but this time they were tears of happiness. A week later, while Adrian was at the office, he got a call from a private investigator. Records that had been lost for years had been found. Adrian's father, before he died, had left his entire fortune not to Adrian, but to a secret foundation, and the only person managing that foundation, Vanessa's father. Adrian understood. Vanessa had been deceiving him for years, for the fortune, not for love. When he went home, he told Lili everything. Lili listened in silence. Then she placed her hand on Adrian's. "Let the past stay in the past," she said. "Let's look to the future." Adrian smiled, truly, this time. "How are you so strong?" "Because I'm not alone anymore. I'm with you. I'm with Aurora." And that night, they sat by their baby's crib. Lili's head was on Adrian's shoulder. The baby was asleep, her breaths rhythmic and peaceful. Outside the window, the city lights were glowing. But Lili didn't see those lights anymore, because she had her own light, the small baby in her arms, the man beside her, and the hope within. "What should we name her?" Adrian asked. Lili thought for a moment, then she smiled. "Aurora. It means dawn, a new beginning." Adrian nodded. "Aurora Shaw. Perfect." And little Aurora seemed to smile slightly in her sleep, as if she could already feel the happiness of the future.
Months passed. Lili and Adrian grew together, both as parents and as lovers. When Aurora took her first steps, they were both there. When she said her first word, they both cheered. Every day, every moment, they were there for each other. Lili forgave her mother in time, because she now knew what it was like to be a mother and understood that mothers sometimes do the wrong things out of fear. When her mother saw Aurora for the first time, she cried and apologized. Lili forgave her. And one day, as they sat in the garden while Aurora played on the grass, Adrian turned to Lili and said, "Thank you." "For what?" "For saving me. For showing me what truth is." Lili smiled. "I didn't do anything. I just loved you." "And that was everything," Adrian said. Then he kissed her softly, with love. The light rising over the dark waters could no longer be extinguished, because that light was born of love, and love could overcome anything. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next story.